This is America.
Catholic
and the problem is we are not dealing with America's original sin and its disease of hate and racism towards black and brown people.
I'm not going to say that the level of stress might not be higher for black Americans going through issues. But what do you expect people to do? Really? You can't mandate that people like people. You can't mandate that people stop using the N-word. That horse left the barn a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? You have to burn all the rap albums first in every Quentin Tarantino movie. And this is my biggest gripe, not just with Jamaal Bowman, but with Democrats as large. Why aren't you focusing on the things that make life better for black Americans? Like economics.
The Black Truth Report. The Black Truth Report. The Black Truth Report.
Have Zohran Mamdani as likely the Democratic primary winner. I think the question for me about this is, will this all just backfire?
I think this is just one of another example of a trend of the Trump administration and his proxies othering people with their language, right? You saw Vice President call Senator Padilla Jose Padilla intentionally. You saw President Trump has previously asked Asian staffers, where are you really from? Matt Walsh, another proxy for President Trump, made an implication that because a significant percentage of people in New York are foreign born, that it's not an American city anymore. This is an administration that has vilified the word diversity. So for some reason, this administration has forgotten that the bedrock of our society is immigration and new Americans. It's not just multi-general Americans. It's everybody coming together to make the diversity of our country special. And this dog whistle and this signaling is candidly disgusting and has no place in America.
Mamdani was on MSNBC tonight, and he actually responded to some of this. Listen.
It's sad in that in one sense it's unsurprising, in another it is still deeply disappointing to see what politics has become in this moment. To have to deal with regular death threats where I'm told that someone is going to blow up my car and is going to kill me and my family and the people that I love.
I mean, frankly, it's like, okay, you disagree with his policies, Why is it that the number one line of attack against him on the right is that he's Muslim?
I don't know if that is number one attack, Abby. I mean, I think in our...
Okay, I like to say, man, that's cold-blooded, man. If threatening to blow up this man's house, to blow up his car, hurt him and his family, that's some unconscionable bullshit. That is some over-the-top craziness. That is totally horrible. Like, that's totally unacceptable, man. Okay, so whatever you think about someone's politics, that's way, way, way too damn far. That's go to jail too far. You know what I'm saying? And so anybody that would co-sign that, anybody that would say that's no big deal, that person's not being honest. That's not a real person. You won't want your family's life threatened.
Conversation tonight, we've been focused pretty much on the policy.
I mean, you have. I'm not talking about you. Look, you're invited to this table. I'm talking about the people who, as we just showed, that is what they say. He's a Muslim. He's an immigrant. This is what makes him unacceptable.
I'm not going to sit here and condone it, Abby. I think the reality, though, is...
You condemn it?
Yeah, sure. But I think there's performative artists on both sides, in both sides of politics today. And as intolerable as some of the rhetoric is...
One of the biggest performers is sitting right at that table with you. That's why he just looked at you like you was talking about him, because he is a big-ass performer. And it's goofy, and the days of this is over. Yeah, I'm talking about Jamaal Bowman.
The reality is that the last two assassination attempts on Donald Trump were from leftists. Assassination attempt on Brett Kavanaugh was from leftists. So we condemn...
See how he scoffed at that? So when Zohran was just complaining about people saying they're going to do things to him, the whole room was silent, like, oh my God. Trump had 2 literal attempts on his life. And what does Bowman do? He scoffed at it. Because it doesn't matter, because he ain't a Democrat. That's the point. That's the hypocrisy. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know Zohran, okay? You know what I'm saying? And I'm frankly tired of the progressives. I really am. But I would speak up for him if someone's trying to hurt him. And I would call that shit out and I would condemn it. And I can condemn somebody trying to hurt President Trump. This is the Tim Black Show. We do this 5 days a week, Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, right here on the Tim Black Show. Go to Tim Black, join TimBlack.com, become a member of the Tim Black Wolf Pack. These people are not authentic human beings.
The rhetoric on the right, but it seems like it's always focused on the right and actually not focused on the actions on the left.
Yo, 2 elected officials in Minnesota were killed. They were Democrats. That wasn't an assassination attempt. They were killed.
They were killed. And
hold on, let me finish.
A question about the motive of the person who did it.
These were 2 Democratic elected officials in Minnesota who were killed. The Tree of Life synagogue shooting, killed. Christchurch, New Zealand, slaughtered. AME Church in South Carolina. On and on and on.
Catholic,
this is America.
Catholic
and the problem is we are not dealing with America's original sin and its disease of hate and racism towards black and brown people and sexism towards women and anti-LGBTQ sentiment. We are not dealing with that. Your colleagues in the Republican Party do not hold each other accountable when it comes to the racism that comes from the party on a consistent basis.
Congressman, I mean, where are you on
You can't be calm about this. I'm a black man in America. The reason why heart disease...
White, I can't comment.
Listen to what I'm saying. The reason why heart disease and cancer and obesity and diabetes are bigger in the black community is because of the stress we carry from having to deal with being called the N-word directly or indirectly every day. If your colleagues would listen and try to learn and engage and grow and stop being so hateful, we could have a better country.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Folks, this is what I was talking about. This is one of the reasons why I had to do this segment. I had to do this segment because of Bowman with this nonsense, folks. Look, I'm not going to say that the level of stress might not be higher for black Americans going through issues. But what do you expect people to do? Really? You can't mandate that people like people. You can't mandate that people stop using the N-word. That horse left the barn a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? You have to burn all the rap albums first in every Quentin Tarantino movie. I mean, really, what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? You really think that's our biggest pressing issue? And this is my biggest gripe, not just with Jamaal Bowman, but with Democrats as large. Folks, why aren't you focusing on the things that make life better for black Americans? Like economics. There goes something. Won't you be talking about economics? Stop talking to me about someone using the N-word. Don't talk to me about that. Talk to me about how we can get our home ownership rates up and programs to help that happen. How about small business incubators for entrepreneurs, black entrepreneurs? How about we focus on that? Let's focus on the things that will materially change our lives. Not this superficial shit. No one can mandate that people like people. No one can make the Asians and Latinos and whites and blacks and all of us like each other more and say nice things to each other when we greet each other on the subway. But what we can do is make it so our kids can have a better life, so that we can be able to retire with dignity, so that we can have business ownership and have some autonomy and some control and stability in our financial lives. Those are things that really matter. But instead of getting that, or even getting advocacy for that, we get guys like Jamaal Bowman up here talking about all black people got it so bad and all people use the N-word and they say mean things. He's going to use some stupid anecdotal bullshit with his fire alarm pulling self, as if these things are important. The average black person wants economics, just like average white, average Latino, average Asian person is more concerned with the safety and the well-being and the financial stability of their families. More than they're concerned with that person over there who I don't know is thinking about me. That's what you need to be advocating for. That's why your ass is sitting out of Congress right now, because you didn't get the fundamental principles of what's really important. But all the theatrics and grandstanding, that's what they want to do. And at the end of the day, it does not help us at all. And I'm tired. He's going to keep going. He's going to keep on forming this into a ball of grievances, and none of them will have any material solutions that he's going to articulate. He's not gonna come up with any real thing that can be done about it, because he's talking about feelings. He's talking about how people treat you and what people think about you. Fuck that. Let's talk about money and taxes and bonuses and salaries and job placement and training programs and STEM classes and school and education. Let's talk about those things, right, Dr. Musa Abdullah? All Things Education Official on YouTube, when we sit down and we talk about the importance of black teachers to black children, but not only black children, all children do better when a black male is their teacher. All children. It's something about us. But right now, Jamaal Bowman is not teaching us anything that we need to learn, because what he's teaching us is that these warm and fuzzy feelings are most important. And they are not what's most important. Message.
I need a place to sleep, not no damn dandelions.
Jamaal. But unfortunately, we're still here.
Jamaal, it's coming from one side.
Jamaal, I feel your passion, and I understand where you're coming from, sincerely. I really, really do. It happens on both sides, Jamaal. You might think it happens more on your side. Jamaal, when I leave the show, Jamaal, you should see my Twitter feed.
All right, so he's up here. This guy is on here to be the guy complaining for black Americans. And the only black Americans that want to hear this shit are goofies. The world is full of a lot of people with a lot of different issues. Most of the time, the people are not sitting around thinking about your ass. But Jamaal Bowman, that's all he's got. It's one note. I'm a black man, and here goes my grievance. I'm black, and I got to deal with this, and I got to deal with that. Nah, man, economics, baby. That's all that matters. That's the way we keep scoring this country. That's it. I know you guys have selected a socialist. Guess what? The way we keep scoring this country is money. That's how we keep score. And those who have it in this country, unfortunately, this is a system that we have. And in this system, if you ain't got no money, you ain't got no voice, and you want to live indoors. 50% of the homeless families in America are black American. That's what he should be talking about. He should talk about the 40% of black people, black Americans are 40% of the homeless rate. Even in states where we're 8 or 7% of the homeless, of the overall population. Do you understand what I'm telling you? These are the numbers that he should be talking about. He should not be talking about feelings. This is a disappointment. And I met Jamaal Bowman, and I had him on the show. We had a good conversation. But this, friends, this is Democratic Party. What he's doing on this show tonight, this night, is Democratic talking point bullshit.
And they're acquitted. Rodney King, Abner Louima, Eric Gardner, Trayvon Martin, black cops in Memphis. It's not the same. And I don't want to qualify or quantify pain. That's not what I'm talking about. Everyone goes through pain. But the racism in this country is the disease that will destroy us.
This is stupid. This makes black people look ignorant. That's what this is. That's what this is, man. Jamaal Bowman, you are not representing. You're not putting down. You are not showing up for black people right now. This is horrific. The only those lames that would big you up on this, they don't know what time it is, man. This is a horrible display. It's lazy. Lazy talking points. So now the January 6th, which included black Americans, they were there. It's about slavery. It was about lynching. That's not what it was about. They were wrong. What they did was wrong, but that's not what they were there doing.
With black people hanging from trees and white people looking and eating sandwiches. This is America. Are we going to deal with it or not? Why are you in denial?
Stop it. I'm not saying
let me let Mark respond.
Actually fought among itself to free slaves.
So, but what are you suggesting, Mark? I think, listen, I don't think it's helpful to be in a sort of pain Olympics around this stuff, right? However.
But meanwhile, you let them do the shit, right? Because it's not going to get down to the point of the issue of what's really important, which is money, which is opportunity, which is growth, which are the things that are going to help black families on the real. See, it's all a distraction, folks. That's what I want you to see. It's a distraction when you talk about these things, because these are not the things that are going to really determine the outcome of your life, right? Where you live, your zip code, the area that you live in, right? We need to correct a lot of these environments. I'm betting, and I'm not from New York either, but Bowman is, and I got a feeling that people in New York are more concerned with black Americans in New York are more concerned with the things I'm talking about than the things he's talking about.
For example, let's talk about what's happening with ICE right now, all over the country, a lot of it in LA. You know, there's hundreds of thousands, over 1 million white people who've overstayed their visa and are here undocumented. But I don't see ICE going to where the Russians are in North Miami Beach. I see them going to the Home Depots. I see them going to the farms. I see them going to the places where hardworking Latino, brown immigrants are that they can easily spot. I see them stopping Latino U.S. citizens because they think they might be undocumented. I see them stopping and detaining Latino legal permanent residents because they think that they might be undocumented. I see them beating the head of the father of 3 U.S. Marines on the ground repeatedly as they detain him, a Latino man. And so that is racism. What's happening right now by the administration is racial profiling against the Latino community.
I just want to chill. I just want to not. I was walking down the street the other day. Some white dude, bald head, he looked me, called me a piece of shit to my face.
I wonder why he did that, Jamaal. Is it because of your heated rhetoric, man? I seen you when things were not looking good for your campaign. You was talking mad shit. You was going ballistic at your rallies. I'm just saying, man, you was giving that heat. That said he was right, whatever he calls you.
Said, I'm going to get what's coming to me. Why I got to deal with that, dog? In Yonkers, New York.
Well, can I tell you something?
I'm not making that up.
Stephen Miller needs to remember that
he said, you're going to get what's coming to you. Ooh.
The current First Lady of the United States is also an immigrant.
I mean, Donald Trump's grandparents were immigrants. I mean, look, listen, I mean, I don't know who said it, but we're all immigrants, right?
So I would answer.
I'm not an immigrant. I'm a black American, not an immigrant. Immigrants choose to be here. Immigrants voyage here on their own volition to be a part of this for economic expansion, economic growth, to take advantage of our system to better their lives. That's not what black Americans, that's not how we got here. So that's some bullshit. Maybe it's that for Abby, because I don't know where Abby's parents are from or when they came to America and under what circumstances. But I'm saying for black Americans, that's not a true statement. But I am disappointed big time in Jamaal Bowman, man. I mean, folks, when we get an opportunity to have a real conversation about things, we need to focus on what's most important to black Americans. And unfettered immigration is not going to help black Americans. Unfettered immigration does not help black Americans. That helps the GDP of the country, maybe. Maybe it helps corporations. Ain't no maybe about it. It does help corporations. That's why they do it. You think they do it because it helps black Americans? Is that what you think? You think that's how America makes decisions? So we know it's not being done to help us, right? Is it really crazy to say it's being done to help corporations? Well, goddammit. Well, let's just say what it is. And if you're sitting on a panel on CNN, maybe that'd be a thing to mention when the subject comes up. But you can't do that. You're not elected to any office, Jamaal Bowman. Why you can't say something real instead of sitting there and talking about crucifix and January 6th being carried and how that's tied to lynching black people? Doesn't make any damn sense. Or some anecdotal story, some white guy saying you're going to get what's coming to you in Yonkers, as if that has anything to do with the betterment of black Americans. Black fathers and mothers raising their daughters and their sons. Missed opportunity, missed opportunity. Perfect. You made it to the end of the video. I appreciate you. Now, Google thinks this next video is going to be perfect for you. It's right up your alley. So click the next video, watch that with me, and let's keep this politics going. You're built for this.